Hello and welcome. My name is Javier Rivera, and today in our DTF series, we're going to be doing a DTF comparison on the ET8550 versus the XP15000. Real quick, this is going to be a DTF comparison. This is not comparing the actual Epson specifications that they have on their webpage. This is just strictly comparing one versus the other one when it's on DTF printing. So we're going to do a little comparison side by side. Hopefully I can answer those questions of which one is better for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's get started. All right, so starting with the Epson ET8550, let's talk about cost, okay? And we're gonna start with the EcoTank 8550. That printer usually costs around $700 to $800, okay? If you guys can get them on sale, great. However, we're going to be using the average price for these printers to do the comparison, and it usually ranges from $700 to $800. Now, to do the DTF conversion, you're going to need a chip resetter, okay? That chip resetter is going to allow you to keep resetting your waste tank and be able to do those print head cleanings. So that's going to be an extra $60 added, and then you're going to need to do, to compare them apples to apple, I will be doing an external waste tank on it. The external waste tank will cost you around $17 to complete, okay? Which brings the total cost of that printer around roughly $780 to $880, give and take, somewhere in there. Depending, like I said, if you can find things on sale, if you can find a printer on sale, okay? Now, talking about cost on the XP15000, that printer usually is around $350 to $400. Again, we're not going to take sale prices in consideration because we're trying to compare apples to apples. Okay, so the XP15000 is going to cost you around $350 to $400, okay, right out the gate. Now, you're going to need also a chip resetter so you can keep resetting your waste tank, which is also going to cost you $60. You're going to need to be able to compare apples to apples, guys. We are going to install a continuous ink system into the XP15000. Now, that's going to run you around $40, give and take, okay? Now, if you buy the kit. If you buy the tank separate, and then you buy the cartridges and you make your own continuous ink, the cartridges are going to cost you $20, and then the continuous ink system is going to cost you around $20 also. So no matter what you're looking or how you slice it, for the continuous ink tank, you're always going to be looking from $40 to $45 roughly, okay? Then we're going to grab a chipless software. We're going to need it's a firmware. So for that chipless firmware, we're going to be looking around $55, okay? And then to make that waste tank is going to be $17, which will bring the total cost of this printer roughly around $482 to $575 roughly, give and take. So right out the gate, I can tell you the XP15000, it's going to be a more cheaper option, and it beats it by several $100s, okay? So now let's go ahead and start talking about maintenance. The maintenance of the XP15000, I can say that it is more in depth. It is a printer that it's a little bit harder to maintain because the amount of maintenance you're going to have to do to it. And the reason for that is, and let's talk about both of them. So your XP15000 is going to have cartridges that look like this, okay? These cartridges got a foam inside, okay? And then that foam is what touches your print head. If that foam doesn't have a good seal, it's going to leak. And you're going to have issues. When it comes to having issues with the printer, it is more prompt that you might have issues with the XP15000, and the reason for it is that the type of cartridge that you use. However, I have seen several people out there in the community that use the stock cartridges, and apparently it helps out a lot not to have those issues with the foam. I have not done it 100% yet. I've done a couple of trials. However, I have not posted the video, so I don't want to, ruin a future video. However, going and judging by the foam, you're going to have more issues with the XP15000 than the EcoTank. And the reason is because the EcoTank, it doesn't use a cartridge, okay? The EcoTank, what it uses is a damper. Now, the damper is pretty much almost the same but it's not going to have that foam. It's pretty much, it's going to have channels, okay, to avoid any air going into the printhead. And on the bottom, it's going to be hollow, fully hollow. And it's going to have a seal around it. So when you put it on the printhead, the ink is going directly to the printhead. There's no foam, no anything. So then the Echo Tank, it's going to require you to do less maintenance, because you're not going to have ink on the sides. You're not going to have ink around the printhead, okay? When it clogs, if you don't remove the damper, you can put the hose directly into that damper. You can push slightly, put a little bit of pressure with a needle and push actually solution through it and get rid of that clog. And after that, you can put a towel underneath and everything, and then you can start pushing ink. And we can do that later in further videos. But when it comes to unclogging a printer, less clogs, less maintenance, I found out that the Echo Tank requires less maintenance versus the XP15000 that you're going to have to maintain a little bit more in depth, okay? I'm not going to say that it's a crazy that maintenance, that it's going to be really scrutinizing and all that stuff, okay? But the XP15000 is going to be more meticulous with the maintenance. And also, if you have a flood, if you let ink get into the printhead, it's more likely that you might ruin the XP15000. Now, let's go ahead and let's start talking about the conversion of it. Now, when it comes to the conversion and converting the printing, working with the printing and doing everything with the printer, the XP15000 has everything right there. So all you have to do is remove the covers and that's it, okay? So you remove a cover, everything's wide open. To work with the cartridges, they're right there. You do a printhead cleaning, you do it right there. You don't have to open a lot of things to remove the printhead. It's 4 screws and a couple of covers. So when it comes to working around, the XP15000 is an easier printer. It's more friendly for the new user, for the person that is just starting. So if you're not that handy, if you don't think you have that little, you know, handy or mechanical work behind, and you're afraid of opening things and, you know, and you have wires and connections and ribbon cables and you're afraid of all that, the XP15000 is a little more user friendly, because the Echo Tank is going to have a lot of covers. The covers are harder to open. When you open those covers, you're going to have another cover in there. To give you an example, to expose your printhead, you're going to have a cover on top. Once you open that cover, okay, you're going to have to remove your Echo Tank hoses. Then after that, you're going to have to remove metal trays. Like I said, the dampers don't have foam. They have to be empty when you remove them, because if not, they're fully hollow. You try to remove that damper and all that ink is going to go anywhere. So the Echo Tank 8550 takes a user that is more meticulous, that, you know, that can take its time removing covers, that is not afraid of opening covers and things like that. So when it comes to user-friendly, I will say that the XP will be that beginner level. I'm just getting started. And the Echo Tank 8550 is more of that intermediate, because I'm not even going to put it as an expert. You know, there's a lot of people that work on them. There's a lot of really good YouTube videos out there on how to work on them. And you can work on them. You know, I'm not going to say that they're not good to work on, but it takes a more intermediate user to work on them. And now for the last one, let's talk about printing speed. Now, Epson tells you on the website that the Echo Tank can print around, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's like from 15 to 16 pages per minute, and this is like a full page. Okay, this is a 12. Hold up, it's a 12 by 17, I believe, that the website advertises, is somewhere in there. I could be a little bit offset. Now, the XP15000 on the same website, same specifications, it's going to say that it prints 9. So according to the website, on a regular printer, regular prints, you're going to be printing slower on the XP15000 than versus the 8550. However, when it comes to DTF printing, I have noticed that the XP15000 prints a lot faster than the Echo Tank 8550. So the Echo Tank 8550 might print, let's say, just to throw a rough number out there, it might take 10 minutes to print out a 12 by 17, and XP15000 might take 4 to 5 minutes. So I will be able to print 2 pages on the XP15000 versus printing 1 page on the 8550. And these are full pages, full color, no blanks, no negative space, no anything. Now, if you add negative space and everything like that, they will both be pretty fast printing. But this is like a picture quality you know, full page, full color. The XP15000 will print faster. However, remember the XP15000, it is made for cartridges and not a tank. So when it comes to roll printing, when it comes to printing long pages, so if you got a roll, you want to print longer, the XP15000 is going to trigger around 48 inches to 50 inches. The printer is going to think it ran out of ink, even if you have a continuous ink tank. Okay, so it's going to think that you ran out of ink and it's going to start spinning out that page. So the most that you'll be able to print on a roll printing on XP15000, I will say roughly from 48 inches to 50 inches. I won't even push it any further. You might push into the 60s, but if you run out of ink, you just ruin your print. However, the EcoTank 8550, because it's made with tanks, it is rated for, and I could be wrong, but I believe it's somewhere between the 76 inches to 78 inches. You might be able to even push to the 80 inches on a roll printing. Okay, I don't recommend printing a roll print that will be longer than 80, because again, if the printer thinks that you're running out of ink and it stops, you just ruin that, and then it's going to try to spit it out, and it will not stop until it sees that the paper is out. So if you still have, let's say 130 feet on that roll, you just dumped 130 feet into the floor. Plus, you just ruin your print. So again, when it comes to long prints, roll printing, the 8550 is going to be able to print longer because the XP15000, you're going to have to reset constantly, which is another thing that I want to discuss real quick before we end this video, is the 8550, all you got to do is fill it up. You fill up the tanks, you forget about it. You don't have to do anything. You know, once you lift it up, you put your inks, you close it, it tells you, hey, do you put any ink on what? And then it resets your inks. But that will last a long time. With the XP15000, you're going to be able to print 5 pages, and then you're going to have to remove your waste tank, reset, put it back to reset your inks, okay? Now that, even though you're printing faster, you're going to have to continuously keep doing that. And if you don't do that and the printer thinks you ran out of ink, again, you ruin your print. So the XP15000, when it comes to printing, you know, a lot of prints, you're going to find out you're going to be doing more things into the, you know, resetting and printing, resetting and printing and resetting and printing, okay? So that's one thing I wanted to talk to you guys before we go ahead and end the video. All right, guys, so to wrap it up, to be honest, I don't think there's a printer that's better than which one. I've been using the XP15000 for a little over a year right now. I have thousands of prints on it. It's been very solid. However, it's a printer that it's an entry level. If you are on a budget, if you don't have $800 to start, the XP15000 is a great option. However, you're going to have to be meticulous with your cleaning. You can't make mistakes. You can't drop too much ink, you can't flood it. You might ruin that print head, you might burn that print head. And I have seen it with customers that they get those 3100 codes and, you know, that overheater print head because they didn't know how to take care of that printer. So it is a cheaper option. However, you have to go with a mindset that you're going to have to clean it very often. You're going to have to do maintenance, and when you do maintenance, you can't rush it. Any little mistake might cost you the printer, okay? The ET8550 might be a lot more forgiving. It is actually a lot more forgiving when it comes to maintenance. I just do my print head cleanings in the morning. You guys seen my daily maintenance. That's what I do with it. And then I don't have to worry about it. However, it does print a little slower. So when it comes to it, my sister-in-law is the one that owns the t-shirt printing business. She loves the XP15000 because when you're trying to print 200 prints, she can print faster with the XP15000, even when she's resetting it and resetting the waste tank. So she likes the XP15000 more for that reason. However, I like the EcoTank 8550 better because I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to constantly be resetting it. I don't have to be purging these cartridges. And what I mean by purging is it's going to come to a point that you're going to see that this foam looks like it has no ink. So it will be like, if this is yellow, it'll be yellow on the bottom, but the top will be white. And you're going to have to purge that, because if not, now instead of printing 5 pages, you're going to print 2. Is going to tell you that the cartridge is empty. So you're going to have to reset it even more. So I don't like that burden of keep resetting it and resetting it and resetting it and resetting it. That's why I like the EcoTank 8550 a lot better. I'll fill it up and then I'm done. And I'll be honest, maybe once a month, I will reset my waste tank, and that is it. Because that waste tank is so big, they don't have to reset it so often. So the 8550 is more forgiving when it comes to maintenance. It's more, or you set it up and let's forget about it, and all I have to do is my daily maintenance, versus the XP15000 takes a little bit more work. However, when it comes to quality, they're both the same. They're very comparable. It's almost identical, to the point that I can't tell the difference on a print which one's better than which. So I apologize that I couldn't give you who is the winner. However, it's what works for you. Okay, I don't think there is a bad printer or a good printer. I think it's what's going to work for you. If you're on a budget, if you're on an entry level, pick the XP15000. Okay, now if you can afford a little bit more, then let's get the EcoTank 8550. Trust me, it will pay for itself at the long run, because you don't have to do firmware updates. You don't have to do a lot of things, okay? So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. If you like it, give me a like. You know, give me that thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.